means whatever the file that contains textual information such as Word file, PDF, TXT file, doc file, PPT, everything. These are all nothing but text files. And binary files are those which contains multimedia related information, maybe images, audio, video, graphics, and so on. So those are binary files. Then is it possible to open a binary file in an editor? Yes, it is possible, but the only thing is that we cannot understand what is there in the file. You may see some special characters and so on and symbols which we cannot understand. And after that, yesterday we discussed about the file operations. In that, majorly, so when I say file operations, majorly we do reading from the file, writing into the file, and searching within a particular file. So in that, yesterday we saw. Students, can you tell me yesterday what are the things we did with files? Yesterday we came to know how to open a file and what is the method for opening a file. Hello, how to create a file in Python? Hello, Sridhar. Hello. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, what is the method to create a file? What is the function that we use? Open method. Huh? Why can't you tell simple things? We use open method to create a file. And open method accepts two parameters. What is the first parameter? First parameter is the name of the file and the second parameter is the mode, file opening mode. And what happens if you do not specify the file opening mode? If you do not specify the file opening mode, by default it will consider read as the default mode. That means the default mode is read. And yesterday we also saw how to read from the file, how to create a file, then how to read from the file, and also we saw how to use read method. Then also we saw how to write into the file, isn't it? We also saw how to write into the file. Then today we will see how to search within a file. Say for example, you have a text, you have a file by name myfile.txt. Then how to search for that. For example, we may be interested in printing only the line which starts with the character H. That means we are doing some pattern match. So I have a file by name myfile.txt. In that I am interested in identifying only those lines that start with the character H. Now look at the code snippet. First we create a file. File handle is equal to open of myfile.txt, and I am not specifying any file opening mode. Hence, by default, it considers read as the default mode. That means we are opening a file in the read mode. Now, how to search? We need to search line by line because we are interested in identifying those lines that starts with the character H. So therefore, I go with the for loop because I need to search one line at a time. So if line dot starts with, look at the method, what we are using, starts with. Line is what? Iteration variable. So that is we have a for loop, and we have under that for loop I am using if condition to identify only those lines that starts with H. So line dot starts with is what? It's an inbuilt method. Then if it is available, then print of line. So where it will print on the terminal, that is print of line. So it will check all the lines one by one. Then it will display only those lines that starts with capital H. See the first how this for loop will work. So this for loop will work in such a way that first it will consider line 1, then it will apply if condition. If line 1 starts with H, then if it is true, print the line. Then Once again, go to the next iteration of the for loop, go to second line. Let us assume it contains 5 lines. So check whether the second line starts with H. If it is true, print the line, otherwise skip it. Once again, go to the for loop, third iteration. Check the third line whether it starts with H. If it is true, print the line. Then go to the fourth iteration. Check the fourth line. If it is matches, if the line starts with H, print the line or else skip it. Then go to the last iteration, that is the fifth iteration. Then check whether it is starting with H. If true, print the line or else come out of the for loop, because after fifth line we don't have anything. Then come out of the for loop, then you see what is there next. File handle dot close. That means close the file. So like that you can check line by line. Now look at here. Now look at this. Assume the input file myfile.txt is containing the following lines. Hello, how are you? I am doing fine, and how about you? Now our program intention is to identify those lines which starts with H and print them on the terminal. Now we have two lines, that is hello, how are you, and how about you. Those are the two lines that starts with letter H. So we need to print them. So the output is, now if we run the program, we'll get the lines that starts with H, that is hello, how are you, then how about you. The output is hello, how are you, and how about you. Now this is the output. Students, through this code snippet, what we will understand is that we came to know that it will take one line at a time for searching within a file. Then it can search one line at a time, and also it is having the capacity to print entire line at a time. Then another takeaway from this code snippet is that we have a method called starts with. Used to identify the starting letter of a line, which is used to identify the starting letter or starting character of a line. Got it, students? Hello? Got it? How to use starts with method?
Yes, sir.
Now letting the user choose the file name. Now instead of we specifying, see in this code snippet manually we have specified the file name, that is myfile.txt. Instead of that, how to make it interactive, how to write an interactive program so that user enters whatever the file name he wants, then you check it, then you do the further processing. Now you see, so now here I want to find, so the user will enter the file name. So within that file name I want to find out how many lines are there in that file. Okay, the program intention is, it's an interactive program where user will enter from the keyboard and I need to search whether the file is available or not. If yes, I need to print how many lines the file contains. So now file name is equal to input of enter a file name. So you are asking the user to input from the keyboard. Then whatever the user enters, store it in the variable by name fname. Then create a file with the same name what user has given. So file handle is equal to open of fname. So this file handle is nothing but file pointer. You can give any meaningful name. You can give file pointer or file handler. Then take one temporary variable count and initialize it to 0. So the moment we write count is equal to 0, the interpreter will understand that count is a variable of type integer. Now we use the for loop to check how many lines are there. For line in file handle, so look at here, if the file exists, the for loop will execute successfully, or else in this for loop it will create an error. Say for example, you will enter some file name XYZ, which is not at all there in your current working directory. If that is the case, it will throw error while executing the for loop. So now let us assume we have a file with 3 lines. I'm going to enter my file.txt, which contains 3 lines. Now, in the first iteration, the line variable represents line 1, and we increment count is equal to count plus 1. So because we have encountered line 1, then print line count. Print line number. So the line number is count. Count is what? 1. Okay. So then line. Then we can print the complete line also. You can see here. If you type this, it will print complete line. If you don't want, you can exclude. Then like that, in each and every iteration, you keep printing the line number and also the contents of the file. See here, I'll delete contents of the line. Why? Because I'm okay. So otherwise, how the output will look like if I do this? So what is the content of the file? Okay, let me take. So this was the contents of the file. So then the contents of our code becomes. Then the contents of our code becomes line number, that is 1. Line number 1. Okay, just we'll trace it. 1 minute. Control V. Okay, students, here. Okay, now let us trace. So first we ask the user, look at the first line where we are asking the user to enter a file name. So let us assume he will enter myfile.txt, which contains 3 lines. Hello, how are you? I am doing fine. How about you? These are the 3 lines that it contains. That is file myfile.txt. Then we take a temporary variable, count is equal to 0. We initialize it to 0. That is for the purpose of counting how many lines we have in the file. Then we use the for loop for line in file handler. So here, don't forget to use the file handle. You have to use the file handler instead of the file name, because it's a file pointer which points to the beginning of the file. So then, since you are opening in a read mode, it will open in read mode, and the file pointer points to the beginning of the file. Then count is equal to count plus 1, because we are dealing with the first iteration, means the first line. Then line number. Look at the output. Line number count. Count is what? In the first iteration 1. Then print colon. Then line. What this prints? Contents of the line. That is hello, how are you? That is the contents of the first line. Then once again repeat the for loop. Now this line represents second line. Count is equal to count plus 1. That is count is equal to 1 plus 1. That is 2. Line number 2, then contents of the line, that is I am doing fine. Then once again go for the next iteration. Now the line represents third line. Count is equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3. Line number 3 colon contents of the line, that is how about you. Now once again go for the for loop. Now we don't have the fourth line, so therefore come out of the for loop. Then print total lines is equal to 3. Total lines is equal to count, that is 3. So now we are done with our purpose. Then close the file. So we should not forget to close the file. So the syntax to close the file is file pointer.close or file handler.close. Just like how we use close method in C and C++, here also we can use close method to close the file. See, there are so many things that are common. There also we were using open method to create and open the file. Here also we use the same thing. And there also we had read method. Here also we have, and there also we had close method. Here also we have the close method, and the syntax is also same. And apart from that, we also have the file opening modes like R, W, and A. That is read, write, and append. Here also the same thing. So that means there are so many commonalities across C, C++, and Python with respect to file concepts. Then, how to apply exception handling when you are dealing with file concepts. So you take any programming language, let it be Java or C++. Most of the times when you deal with file concepts, it will throw, there are chances where it may throw exception. So we have to use, what we have to use? Exception handling concept. So hence here, we use try except block to deal with these exceptions. So look at here where exactly where we are using this try block and the try block and the accept block. So first we are asking the user to input the file name. So the not an issue, he will enter by using the input method. We read from the keyboard and we will store it in fname. Then very importantly, then we have a statement where we have to open the file with the name specified by the user. Now it may trigger an error in case if the file is not present. So that is why before using this open method, I want to open the try block. So before using the open method, I want to open the try block so that it can catch the exceptions. Try colon, go to the next line, file handle is equal to open of file name. That means we are opening it in read mode. Okay, if you identify here, there is one programming bug. What is that programming bug? Is that this file handle is equal to open, that is a method, that is a part of try block, hence we have to do indentation. We have to do indentation. So that was the bug there. Now if everything goes well, nothing will happen. Say for example, so I am entering the file name xyz, which is not there in the current working directory. So then it has to throw the exception. Then whatever the message that you want to display when the exception occurs, that you can write under the except block. Now I want to tell the user that file cannot be opened because that is not at all there. So I'll display the message file cannot be opened. Then I want to exit from the program. Why? Because when the file itself is not available, further you cannot do anything. So it is better to exit from the program. So I'll write exit statement. File cannot be opened, then exit from the program. That's it. In case if the file is available, then it will not execute the except block. It will come to count is equal to 0. Then for line in file handle, count is equal to count plus 1, line number and count. So that means this is the same previous program, but here this is the code which doesn't contain exception handling, and here we have implemented the concept of exception handling by using try except block. Students, any doubt in this? How to apply try except block? See, already we have seen that exception handling example. Now this is one more application of it. Students, can you tell me some of the scenarios where you may have to use exception handling? Sunil, Vinny.
So divided by 0, any number divided by 0.
Okay, that is one thing. Then
the situation which is unknown to us, that in that situations we use
the situation. Some requirement. You tell me, sir, if this is a requirement, I'll write the try catch block or the try except block. Tell me.
So predefined errors we will identifies and will fix that bug before only.
Okay. So if you identify that, so there are here in this situation some error may happen. So to give some hint to the user, you can use try except. Okay, fine. Then wherever okay, there are chances of occurrence of overflow and underflow situations. So that is while dealing with the arrays. There is a chance of occurrence of either overflow or underflow. So overflow means when the size is already reached. If you are still trying to add some more elements, so that is overflow. Similarly, underflow also can happen. So to give some hint to the user, under those situations, you can use try except. Then, while dealing with the files, you have to use. Okay, there also you can use. Then where else? Tell me one more scenario. Can you tell one real-time application example? Students, can you tell some real-time example where you can use try block, except you are developing some product? So under that, you tell me, you come up with a sequence where you may have to use try catch or the try except.
Register number.
Say, for example, you are developing an application where the user can shop from the cart. Okay, let us assume like that. So, before purchasing, see, usually whenever the user goes to the cart, he will go with the basket, isn't it? He will go with the basket, and the size of the basket is finite. It is not infinite, it is finite, isn't it? Say, for example, you'll go with the handbag. That means you can only fill something so until the top of the bag, isn't it? That means the size is finite. Similarly, here also you can assume that for any given user, even in the e-commerce portal, the size of the basket is some finite number. Say, for example, at maximum, a given user can add 50 products. The moment it reaches 50, okay, it should avoid adding furthermore elements or furthermore items. So under those situations, you can give some hint to the user, isn't it? If you are trying to add 50 first item to the cart, it may show some message. User, already you have added maximum number of items into the cart. Furthermore, you cannot add any item. So you can tell some message to the user so that he will come to know, oh, the maximum capacity of this basket is 50 items. So I have to purchase only 50 in single shot. If at all you want to purchase furthermore, so that will become second transaction, like that. Similarly, for price also, you can say, for example, you can design an e-commerce application where the minimum loadable amount is 100 rupees. Say, for example, so you want to load money to the wallet, e-commerce wallet. So minimum you have to load 100 rupees. In case the user is trying to add 50 rupees or 10 rupees, you should trigger an message, error message. That is exception message. Please add minimum 100 rupees. Like that, you can display some message. Okay, these are some of the practical applications of using try and except. Next, debugging, dealing with invisible characters. So what are invisible characters, students? Any idea? What are invisible characters? Hello? So invisible characters means we cannot see blank character. We assume it. We cannot see tab, isn't it? Even the new line. So just we write slash /t for tab, /n for new line, and so on. Just we can imagine. We cannot see actually. Okay, these are the some of the invisible characters. Look at this slide. While performing operations on files, you may need to extract required set of lines, words, or characters. For that purpose, we may use string functions with appropriate delimiters that may exist between the words lines of a file. But usually the invisible characters like white space, tabs, and new line characters are confusing, and it is hard to identify them properly. So look at this string. This is a string which contains 1, 2, 3, and 4. But we have done some formatting by using blank character, tab, and new line. So here within this string value, we have used blank character, tab, and new line. If you print that S value, look at here how it will print. It will print 1, 2, then tab 3, and in the next line 4. This is how it will print, isn't it? So now how to debug this? Look at here. In case if you want to print it as it is. Okay, see actually here. See here I am using this yes for the purpose of formatting the values 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is fine. It is doing its task. That is fine. Suppose now if I want to print the value of the string as it is, that is, it should print /t also, /n also, everything as it is. For that purpose, we have a method called as REPR. REPR means representation. That is exact representation of the string. See now, if you look at this output 1, 2, then 1 tab 3 in the next line 4. This is not the exact representation of yes. This is the implementation of the string value. But if you want the exact representation, so for that purpose you have a method called REPR, which is nothing but representation. Here by looking at the output, it may be difficult to make out where there is a space, where there is a tab, etc. Python provides a utility function called as REPR, which means represent, to solve this problem. This method takes any object as an argument and returns a string representation of that object. For example, the print in the above code snippet can be modified as, look at here. If you use REPR, then S as the parameter, it will display as it is. The value of S was this one only, isn't it? We look at here. What was the value of S? Value of S is equal to 1, 2, /t, then 3, new line, then 4. So it will display as it is. Okay. Then see in many of the systems we use /n for new line, and certain systems don't support. If they don't support /n, then you have to use carriage return. That is / followed by R. That is called as carriage return. Students, that's about the files concepts. So through the files, we came to know how to create a file by using open method. Then we came to know how to deal with file opening modes. That is A for append, R for read, W for write. R plus means read and write. Even W plus will also do the same thing, but it will rewrite the contents. Then A plus is also there, using which you can modify the contents and you can replace the existing contents by using A plus. Then we have RB. What is the meaning of RB, students?
Binary.
Yeah, read from the binary file. WB means write from the binary file. AB means append to the binary file. So when you are dealing with binary files, we cannot use RW and A. So we should use RB, WB, and AB to deal with the binary files. Then after that, we came to know that open is the method to open the file or to create a file. While opening the file, if you use read as the mode, it will open successfully only if the file is existing. That means if the file is not existing, it will not create. It will throw the error message. That is one thing. But if you use the write method, if it will check whether the file is already existing If not existing, it will create the new file. It will create the new file if not existing. So that you need to majorly understand what happens if you use R and what happens if you use W. Then after that we learned read method, which is used to read from the file. That is file handle. The syntax is file handler dot read method dot read, file handler dot read. Then similarly, how to write into the file, students? What is the method to write into the file? Students, tell me how to write into the file. Hello? Anyone? Hello? Hello, students. Hello? Nilanjan? Shruti? Shruti, are you there? Spurti? No one knows what is the method used to write into the file. Is it the print method or write method? Hello? Hello, students. Is it the print method or write method that we use along with the file handle?
Right methods.
Write method. Why you think so much? Read is to read is for the reading purpose, write is for writing purpose. File handler dot write. We can write into the file. Then to close the file, we use file handler dot close. Then when we use starts with method, to identify, if you want to identify any line which starts with a particular character, then we use starts with. Okay, that's about the file handling concepts. Students, answer for the attendance. Students, answer. USN 1.
Present, sir.
2.
No, sir.
3.
Present, sir.
4. 4 absent. Amrish. 5.
Yes, sir.
6.
Sir, 4 present,
4
sir.
present. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ? 6.
Sir, Amrish present, sir.
Yes. 6. Arbaz. 7.
Sir, ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, sir.
Present, sir.
8.
Present, sir.
9.
Present, sir.
Yesterday you were absent. Why? Why, Benita?
I was
10.
not well.
Okay, then take rest. 10.
Present,
But-
sir.
11.
Present, sir.
12.
Present, sir.
13. 13. Debamalia. 14. Diksha.
Present, sir. Present.
16.
Present, sir.
17.
Present, sir.
18,
Present, sir.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
24, Kishore, 23,
Present, sir.
25,
Yes, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Yes, sir.
28,
Present, sir.
29,
Yes, sir.
30.
Present, sir.
Now TD series. USN 2,
Present, sir.
3,
Present, sir.
4,
Present, sir.
5,
Present, sir.
6,
Present, sir.
7,
Present, sir.
8,
Yes, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Yes, sir. 11, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13,
Present, sir.
14,
Yes, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17,
Yes, sir.
18,
Present, sir.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21, 21,
Present, sir. Sir, present.
22,
Present, sir.
23.
Present, sir.
Okay, students, that's all. In the third hour, you have a seminar, right? Attend the seminar. That's the online expert talk is there in the third hour. That is at 10:50. So please join at 10:45, 10:50. Thank you.